Hi traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to today's report. Basically overnight we saw a shift back to safe havens. The US dollar and JPY strengthened to the risk majors. This has continued on into today's Asian session. We're just looking at the pound yen on the daily now, and most of the risk majors are tracking lower to the JPY and the US dollar in today's Asian session at this stage. Our shares were mixed overnight. We saw the Nasdaq made the biggest falls, losing 0.29%, but shares in Europe finished higher, with the CAC finishing the session up by 0.34%. Gold fell back overnight. It added 0.49%, clawing back some of the previous session's heavy losses. And the oil, which we'll do a breakdown of a bit later in the report, hit 2-month highs before inventories showed another surprise increase, jumping up to 7.9 million barrels, and this sent oil sharply lower. So from the high it made at 57.84, it fell 2.51% to close out sharply lower for the session. Tonight we have the EU economic forecast coming out at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And then we'll be moving over to the Bank of England from 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So we will see the Bank of England report the policy report. We'll have the MPC bank rate votes, and we'll also have the policy summary. So they're looking for rates to remain on hold tonight at 0.75%, and then at 11:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, Bank of England's Governor Carney will address the markets. So we're just going to jump over to some of the main moving markets overnight. Oil will start with, and we can see pretty clearly here that new 2-month high we made before inventories came out and sunk that rally, sending price back down to the 56.39 point. So on the daily, we can see a tiny bit of support and resistance from buyers from 5.623. One thing to keep an eye on as well is this trend that still remains in play. So if buyers are able to pull in support, we'd be looking for maybe a new higher low to develop and possibly push the extension higher. But if we continue to see buyers fail to recover those losses we saw last night, we could set up a new lower high, which could set up probably a new move down to test the trend line, and it could be anywhere between 5.487 to the 5.52 area. So it's a bit of a wait and see right now how the market deals with that, as this is the second inventory shock we've seen in 2 weeks with oil inventories. So we're going to move over to the USDCAD. Sorry about that. So we can see the dollar CAD had a good move up last night, and that was mainly due to oil coming off so heavily. But what's interesting with the dollar CAD at the moment is we've had a bit of messy trade around this area here, but sort of buyers now have sort of gathered some momentum, and we've started to really put down a bit of a solid step forward in extending this new trend break that we saw. So that was the medium trend that was broken, and we've seen one new higher low here, and we've had a mini trend break here. So there's a close there, so we will call that a trend break for now. So what we want to see now is a break basically of this high and this high to really show the buyers have momentum, and this is a new short-term to possibly medium trend developing. If we see a new fail here and a new lower high and a new extension back to this level, we could see a continuation of a larger lower high forming, and it could possibly set up a new move lower. So it's really up to buyers now to really stake a claim here and put their foot forward. So it'll be interesting to see how things progress with the dollar CAD going forward, and how the inventory numbers are if they're gonna have a longer term effect on oil or a short term effect, as the trade negotiations are still continuing in phase 1. Looks like it's just about a sealed deal. So thanks for listening and watching today's video, and we hope you have a great trading day, and we'll wish you the best until the next video. Thanks. Bye.